In this video, I'll be showing you how to determine the inclination between the positive slope and the negative slope. So, the inclination in mathematics is the angle between a line, which is the x-axis, and this angle will always be in between 0 and 180 degrees, and it is measured anti-clockwise from the part of the x-axis to the right of the line. What you have to know is that all horizontal lines have an angle of inclination of 0 degree. So if you measure the angle of inclination, you measure it from the x-axis to the line in an anti-clockwise direction. For an example, say you have a Cartesian plane. These are the x-axis and these are the y-axis. If we have a line with a positive gradient and you want to measure the angle of inclination, angle of inclination is measured from the x-axis to the line in an anti-clockwise direction. So I can name this angle as theta. Then to find this angle theta here, I'll need to use my right angle triangle. I can extend this line on the x-axis. It's the point of origin. So these are the x-axis. Then after extending this line, I can draw a line that is vertical upwards, and this line is perpendicular to the x-axis. So now we have a right angle triangle here. In this right angle triangle, we can calculate the gradient of the line. Gradient of the line will be a change in y over a change in x. By using trigonometry, again, you can see that the gradient here, m, is the change in y over a change in x. And change in y over change in x using this angle. This change in y is the opposite side of this angle, and change in x is the adjacent side of the right angle triangle if you are referring to angle theta. So therefore we have the opposite over adjacent, that is tan. So tan of theta is equal to the opposite side divided by the adjacent side in the right angle triangle. So therefore, to find the angle of inclination, which is theta, we need to equate it to the gradient of the straight line. So therefore, m is equal to tan of theta. And if you can calculate tan of theta of this right angle triangle with the line that is increasing, or with the positive slope or gradient, if the slope is positive, this theta will be an acute angle. For example, let's say the equation of this line is y equals to 2x minus 1. With 2x minus 1, the equation of a straight line is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. So this 2 is m. If I want to find angle theta, I'll say tan of theta is equal to m. You notice the value of m is 2. So the value of m is 2. So we are looking for theta. Then now you can say this tan theta is equal to 2. And to find theta, you need to choose arctan both sides. Choosing arctan, so the theta will be equal to arctan of positive 2. And to find arctan of positive 2, you can use your calculator. First, you need to press shift, then you press tan, that is arctan, then you say 2. And please make sure that your calculator is in degrees. Then your theta is 63,43. So theta is equal to 63,43 degrees. This theta is the angle of inclination. So therefore, you can say this theta is 63,43, which is an acute angle. This angle is acute because it is between 0 and 90 degrees. It is greater than 0 but less than 90 degrees. In another case where we have a straight line with a gradient that is negative, like this one. So the gradient of this straight line is negative. So it's negative. To measure the angle of inclination, angle of inclination is measured from the x-axis to the straight line in an anti-clockwise direction. So this is our theta. And after calculating this theta, you must find an angle that is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. The name of that angle is an obtuse angle triangle. An obtuse angle. It's an obtuse angle. So how do we determine this angle of inclination if we have a negative gradient? Let's just make an example of the equation so that you can have a negative gradient. Say the equation is y equals to negative half of x plus 2. So the value of m here, since the equation is in the form of y equal to mx plus c, the value of m is negative half. So we need to determine the size of theta. So again, I'm going to use the equation m equal to tan of theta. The value of m is negative half. So negative half will be equal to tan of theta. And to find theta in this case, we are going to introduce a tan both sides. And we find the angle that is negative, then add 180 to that angle to find theta. So theta in this case will be 180 degrees minus arctan of positive half. If you put an angle here to tan, you neglect the negative sign. So we're going to put positive half. Then it's arctan, arctan of positive half. Then using a calculator, say 180 minus arctan, press shift, then press tan to write arctan, then of half is 1 over 2. And get 153,43. So therefore theta is 143, is 153,43. Therefore theta is 153,43 degrees. This is how we find the angle of inclination. So 153,43 is the angle that is greater than 90 but less than 180 degrees. So therefore we know that 153 degrees, 153,43 degrees is an angle that is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So the name of that angle is an obtuse angle. So that is how we find the angle of inclination. Thanks.